Hello my friends, it's Danny, and today I am making dairy-free mashed potatoes with roasted garlic and olive oil. This is a really rustic, flavorful take on mashed potatoes that uses just 5 ingredients and could not be any easier to make.
That is to die for.
Now, I have shared this recipe in the past. I shared it in a video a couple years back when I was sharing some Thanksgiving side ideas for you, but I wanted it to have a place to live on its own because it is that good and it's 100% vegan, and I know we have a good amount of vegans here in the community, so this is a recipe that will make it onto a lot of different plates. Now, the first thing you need for this recipe is roasted garlic. I highly recommend doing this step ahead of time. You can either do it earlier in the day or you can do it up to 3 days ahead of time and then just store it in an airtight container right in your fridge. So I'm gonna start by pulling off the loose excess papery outer layer on the garlic. Then I'll lay it sideways and slice anywhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch off the top. You wanna go far enough down that all of the tops of the garlic cloves are exposed once you slice it off. So it's gonna look like this once you've cut it. And I really like to do this with a serrated knife. It just makes it super easy to slice through the garlic. Now, I usually make a few of these at a time. If you're gonna do one, you might as well do a handful of them because you can have them on hand then to use for salad dressings or to put into any type of dish that you might be whipping up, or if you just wanna use it as a spread on some toast. It's absolutely delicious. Then here on my rimmed baking sheet, I'm just gonna take each garlic bulb that we've sliced the top off of and lay it on top of a piece of aluminum foil. Then I drizzle the top with a little bit of olive oil, and I like to season it with a pinch of salt and pepper, and then pull up the sides of the foil, and you just want it to be airtight. So you can just squish it all together at the top so it looks like a bit of a stem. Then I'll pop this into a 400-degree oven, anywhere between 30 and 40 minutes, depending on the size of your garlic bulbs. You're gonna know that the garlic is done because one, it's gonna be fragrant. It's also gonna be very tender and buttery. So take it out of the foil, let it cool down till it's room temperature and you're comfortable handling it. Now you're gonna see when the garlic is cooked, it slips right out of the garlic skin. You could take it out with a little fork like this, or if you're a more hands-on kind of person, you can just squish the clove and it just literally squeezes right out. Roasted garlic like this is not anything like raw garlic. It is sweet and it's creamy, it's spreadable, it is delicious, and that's why I love making a few extra cloves to have in the refrigerator. As for my potatoes, I'm using 2 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. The Yukon Golds are a little bit starchier, so they make really creamy, fluffy mashed potatoes. Another great potato option would be a russet potato. So I'll give them a rinse under some cold water, and then you can peel them if you want to, but I really like to leave the skins on. Number one, there's a lot of nutrients in the skin, and number two, it creates like this really hearty, rustic mashed potato. But if you're looking for like really creamy, smooth mashed potatoes, then you're definitely gonna wanna peel the skins off. Either way, the potatoes are delish. Then I'm just gonna cut them into chunky, bite-sized pieces. You want the pieces to be relatively the same size so they all cook at the same pace. Then I'm gonna get them into my pot, cover them with enough cold water to come about 1 inch above the potatoes, and then we're gonna bring them over a high heat, let everything come to a boil, and then just let them boil for about 5 or 10 minutes or until they're fork tender. Once I have them where I want them, I'm just gonna drain them out and then pop them back into that warm pot and add in the rest of our ingredients, right? So all of those sweet and creamy garlic cloves that we cooked up earlier with about 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Now, this is when you want to use the good olive oil. So make sure that you're using a cold pressed extra virgin olive oil here. The flavor makes all the difference. Then I'll season that with some kosher salt and some black pepper. And then using a potato masher, we're just gonna mash these potatoes down. If you don't have a potato masher, you can also use the back of your fork. Both will get the job done. Now again, I like a more rustic mashed potato, something a little more homemade, but if you want them smooth and creamy, just go a little bit further than I am. What I do not recommend is putting them in the food processor though, because then they get over whipped and they tend to get really gummy and unpleasant. What I absolutely love about these potatoes is that we are infusing so much flavor into them that you do not miss the milk or the butter at all. You're just gonna be so excited to eat them just the way they are. are. Once you have your potatoes exactly the way you like them, you're gonna transfer them into your serving dish. And then I like to drizzle a little extra virgin olive oil right over the top. Give it a pinch of flaky sea salt, and then some fresh chives for color. So beautiful and so delicious. This would be a great dish for your holiday table, but it's also easy enough for the busiest of weeknights. In our family, we love serving these mashed potatoes with my cast iron chicken thighs. It's to die for. It's such a warm, comforting meal, especially as the weather gets colder. So I'm gonna link that recipe for you down in the description box as well.
That is to die for. So good.
They're so creamy and delicious, and I love that sweet garlic flavor with the mashed potato. I'm super excited for you all to try this recipe. If you haven't already, make sure that you snap a picture and tag me on Instagram and Facebook so I can see all of the clean and deliciousness you're whipping up in your very own kitchens. And if you haven't already, my dear friend, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share this channel with anybody else you know who wants to make healthy eating easy. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Danny Spies, and I will see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers.
May eat a bowl of mashed potatoes before we're done here.